in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving higher, time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving higher.
Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast number 199. This edition of the Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by Dawsontire and Wheel, your premier ag tire and wheel provider in North America, helping people grow. TractorZoom delivering insights and dry shod boots, the official work boot of the Moving Iron Podcast. Well, once again, Aaron Fiddle has come back to the Moving Iron Podcast, and we're going to talk about a little year-end stuff that we see happening here, especially how it relates to the combine market. Shocker. We never talk about that. No way. We never talk about that, do we? But wanted to get Aaron back in here and talk about what's going on. Here we are at the end of the year, and we have got some, I don't know, say developments or whatever you want to call it, but we had a fairly decent-sized combine auction on the 13th. Does that sound right?
It was the other day.
Yeah.
On December
13th. So there's a large custom cutter that had.
No, that was Sunday.
Had a combine sale. Doesn't matter. There was like 8 780s and like 8 770s that sold. All of them were 2018s, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, all 20, and they were around that 700 to 1100 separator hour range. Correct. Yep. So Aaron and I want to talk about that a little bit, and I've got some more fun facts that we can throw out there about going on with the combine market. But
fun facts. Now wait a minute. You said fun facts and combine market,
right? Yeah.
I'm not sure that's the same thing.
You never know.
Or did they all disappear?
Well,
is it like the rapture, and you wake up tomorrow and there are no combines?
No, I don't think it's quite that good. But you get a chance to start over.
You said good news. I was hoping.
Before we get too far away, how you been? What have you been up to?
I'm good. It is year end. Just constant phone glued to the ear, and here's a purchase order, here's a purchase order, here's a purchase order, and shop work, and there you go.
Yeah.
Ending the year on a bang, my man.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we've got going for us here that we don't typically see any other time of the year, especially this year. There's a fair amount of money floating around.
Absolutely. Finally.
And there's a lot of positives here. We've got lots of commodity prices have come up. We've got some various government program money that's out there. We've got this vaccine for the coronavirus that's supposed to revolutionize the world and make everything good again. So that's going for us. And then you've got just some positive things. We start looking at what's happening in South America as far as growing conditions down there, and we're creeping into a drought further and further. It seems like every day up here and around us. So as you start taking a look at what's going on and what's kind of coming together, there is a great opportunity to see some very large movements in the market, both up and down. By the way, this volatility is going to start creeping into the marketplace, but I guess as you take a look around right now and you see things that are going on outside of the combine marketplace, what are some of the things that you're paying attention to that you are just kind of watching to make sure that you're right, wrong, or indifferent on that topic?
Well, I have yet to be wrong, so I don't pay much attention to that.
That is a sack of
No. There's nothing. Of course, this is a very bad couple weeks to ask, like, what are some of the low points? Right now, nothing. A month ago, a lot of things, What I'm watching probably the most is a tractor we talk about on here a lot, the 5,000 hour 8R, and where it is in relation to the 30 series. The 30 series has gotten so much downward pressure from the 5,000 hour 8R crew or club that they are kind of falling out of bed a little bit. Yeah. Same thing we saw on 70 series combines, right? Everybody's two favorite products ever created: 30 series tractor, 70 series combine. 70 series combines. We know this. We made a hard run at them as they were falling out of bed. Right. And then we got a bunch and go, oh, shit. That was a great idea. So, you can only take so much downward pressure before everything starts plunking out. Right. Okay. Now, I have seen on, I would say, like the upper third of 70 combines, they did fall down. They had to. But they're still above the bottom third of the S. Like, no joke. And I've talked to guys who have paid more for the S, or for the 70, because it's a 70 and not the S.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that isn't an everyday thing, right. But it's out there.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, 30 series, I don't think you're going to see that on tractors. There's no reason for that to happen on tractors, because first of all, your first 8R series is a 30 series with a better cab. So why would you pick the 30?
Right.
You go after that, it's the same thing with a filter on it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I think also, too, I've paid attention to the exact same thing, the buckets that we see coming in. We track hour ranges and how many machines are in these various hour ranges, which tells you kind of roughly what year model those would fall into. And it's been nothing but the same hour buckets, the same amount of equipment in it over and over again. And typically what you would hope to see is that the low houred side of that spectrum would fill up first, and then as the year progressed on, that would be like a wave moving across the hour cycle, and it would start back over the following year and kind of go on, and so kind of slowly start seeing this wave move along. It's not moved in a year. It's been the exact same glut of machines. On combines, it falls into that 1,000 engine hour range to like 2,500 engine hour range. That's where like 80% of your machinery is laying at right now, which is 2012, 2014 model equipment for the most part, right? Maybe some 15s in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And the upper end of that's definitely. Yeah, I bet that's how you're looking at that. Your thousands is your 15. Your 1,500 is your 14. 2, 25. There you go.
Oddly enough, though, if you watch one over here, I've got another bucket over here because I don't have an infinite scale of hours to go on combines, but 4,000 hours is where it stops. So it's 4,000 plus gets lumped over in this one big bucket, and you'd be amazed how high that bar is.
I'm sure.
What 4,000 hour combines are. I mean, comparatively to what's going on around it. I mean, that bar it's up there as high as...
You mean high as in a shitload of machines
right.
in there?
Yeah. There's a ton of machines in there.
Absolutely.
But every month it just goes a little higher than it was the month before. Might fall off for a second, but comes back up.
And they all go way south, and they all go way east.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the biggest thing that worries me right now when I look at the combine market or the tractor market or anything is everyone's going to come in now, they're going to start upgrading their machines, right? And I haven't done anything since 2013, right? So now I'm going to come in, I'm going to take my 2013, I'm going to chuck it on the stack over here with the other 2013s, and I'm going to try to go get a 300-hour combine or a 500-hour combine, which there aren't many of, right? There's not a lot of those laying out there. So don't take this as gloom and doom if you have a 2013 or 12 or 14 model combine.
No do.
Because if you're the first to the table, you're gonna have an opportunity to do something that if someone waits till June to trade their combine in, they're not going to have that same opportunity.
No. Now, is that why I thought I saw a memo the other day urging combine dealers to install scales in front of the dealership? Is that related to that?
It could be. It could be related to that somewhat. But I think if you look at what's going on and how those things correlate and they all come together, there's going to be a problem with combines, and it's not going to be the high or the high dollar, low hour combine. It's going to be this glut of 12, 13, 14, 15 model stuff. Same with tractors, same with planters, same with whatever. I mean, probably not planters, but there's that segment of guys that want to come in and they want to upgrade. There's going to be this mass amount of stuff that comes in that's going to be, what are we going to do with it? Where's it going to go? What are we going to do with it? And I think that's where, how much can south of the border absorb of that, and how much can Eastern Europe absorb of that to make that problem go away? Because quite frankly, these combines that are 1,000-hour combines, 1,500-hour combines, 2,000-hour combines are Ukrainian specials. You know what I mean? Like that's what that buyer's looking for. That's the price range they want to spend.
Right.
It's doing those things. So my biggest concern that I have right now is, what does the auction market look like come about March, April, and May? How many of these combines are going to hit the market that are going to be, and then what is that? How does that start to transition value, and what does that look like?
I know this is probably a really dumb comment.
Probably.
But usually is. Thanks for listening. I think that will completely depend on, I think it'll, as you're talking about that exact time frame, I think that'll be too close to right now to be the big giant, oh my God, I bought a 12,670 for $35,000 on an auction. I don't think we'll be there yet unless commodities fall completely ass out of bed.
I don't think we'll be either.
I think we're going to be where we're at right now.
I tell you what, high commodity prices for 2012, 13, 14 model used combines is a bigger detriment than $3 corn is.
I disagree, just because if there is, because you're talking about guys leapfrogging what they're supposed to buy, right, just like in 12. And
remember
13.
2009 when guys would trade in a 50 series and go buy a brand new 70 series?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's the same deal,
right?
So I wrote a blog about this, and it's on my website, moving9llc.com. You can go check it out.
In one of his many publications.
But it's called Echoes of the Past, and basically it's taking a look at what's happening now compared to what happened in 2009 and 10. It's just different. Like, it's not, back then our problem was 200-hour combines, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a whole bunch of old stuff. Matter of fact, we were scavenging the countryside for 60 series combines.
Yeah.
And 50 series combines.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have any, right? Couldn't find any. And now it's the flip of that. Now we're trying to scavenge the countryside, trying to find that 300-hour combine, that 500-hour combine, that 1,500-hour tractor, those kind of things. I'm not saying they're not out there, because they are, but there's not that many of them, because obviously during this time frame between 2013 till now, production just wasn't there. The demand wasn't there, so there was less produced. I mean, it's just how it was. I mean, it's just simple supply and demand. And
you got a couple other factors.
Okay.
There's been a lot of guys that hit their lick, punched their ticket, and jumped out.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
From 12 to 20.
Right.
A lot of them.
Right.
There's been a lot of guys go under.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of guys, I have had enough fun, I am done.
Right.
I'm out. There's way less buyers out there for all of the combines.
Yep.
Which means there's less buyers for the turds, there's less buyers for the cream puffs. However, we also, the era we're talking about, the past that provides the echoes, those were $200,000 used combines. Mm-hmm. 200 hour, $200,000, $250.
Yeah.
$250. I realize inflation and all that. Now we're dealing with $450 on that same damn combine.
Yeah.
There's going to be a new combine problem, just like there was then, just because of the day. You take $7 corn and a $250 combine, or you take $4 corn and a $450 combine, there's still a problem.
No, there's not. I mean, there is a problem. There always will be a problem. There's always going to be a sticking point someplace in the where, at what point is a used combine too high, and what point is a used combine too low?
$350.
I don't know. I don't know if that's right or not.
I will say this: being on the front lines in the battle every day, over 3,
yeah,
GFL.
I don't think so.
Good effing luck.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not shitting. I mean it. If you want to sell a combine, and it starts with S, mm-hmm, it better not start with 4 or even 3. If you want to sell it timely. Now, if you want to throw it out there, we traded for this in September, But these are the hours it'll have when we get it in November or December 1st. And, oh, by the way, clock hasn't started yet, so we're not too concerned on it. And then it becomes, oh, shit. It's August of 21. Mm-hmm. This combine's almost a year old. Not on our books, but it is in reality. So it's a year old on price if you haven't repriced it.
Well, that's a process thing then.
No, I know. But it's also a market thing.
Right.
The process exists because the market changes in volatility.
Well, also, too, I always feel sorry for the guy that goes out and puts the first combine on the market. The first 1-year-old combine on the market, because now everybody else is taking that 1-year-old combine and they're going like, okay, so if he wants whatever, $425 for his used combine with 250 separated hours on it, I want to make sure my buyers buy his before, so I want to make mine $415, right?
Then the next guy's 410, and the next guy's 405,
and then all of a sudden you kind of get a settling point. Everybody kind of settles in at this like 390,
right,
395, kind of range. And these guys up here look like complete idiots. Well, they're the ones that set the market. First guy through the door always gets his.
And he might have thought when he set the market, he was stealing that son of a bitch. Exactly. And now he's sitting there going, "What on earth?"
Yeah, exactly. So when you take all of those things in consideration, don't necessarily throw the baby out with the bathwater when you're looking at combine value or tractor values or anything like that. Somebody had to be the first one out to set the marketplace, and then everybody else either said, "Man, you're stupid at $415. I think we can get $435 for this all day long, or $425 or whatever it is." And there's some of that, right? There's some of those guys out there that want to be the most expensive one on the market.
Why? Why do people do that?
I don't know, but there's a myriad of reasons that go into it.
Oh, because I can give you $150,000 for your 8,400.
Yeah, well, that's
a warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, so there's some of that there too. But I mean, if you take a look at every manufacturer, Deere Case, New Holland Kloss,
Kubota.
Well, they don't make combine.
Versatile.
Oh, yeah, they do make a combine, don't they?
Kubota doesn't.
I thought I saw one the other day.
No way.
In
Is it like a Briggs with a grain bin on it?
No, it's
based off a grasshopper mower.
No, it was like a Class 4 combine or something. But anyway, I could have been seeing something else too. Who knows? But nonetheless,
was it late at night? Was it a Friday?
Early in the evening? No, it wasn't a Friday. It wasn't a Friday. But I think if you look at all those things, all those factors, and how they come into play, at end of the day, the used combine market is going to have a struggle with when on-farm income picks up, which we're going to see it pick up in 21. That combine marketplace is going to have a problem in the middle of on the other end of the spectrum when it comes to older, higher-hour combines, and there's going to be this late model, low-hour combine thing where they might actually might bring a premium to the marketplace.
Ooh,
I really think so.
Because
it's a supply and demand thing.
I'm not going to wager my job on it, but I'm going to have to disagree with you to every fiber of my being on that.
Why?
So this is our second bet. We're already 3 years into your autonomous tractor bet. So now here's the next bet: that used combines will have a premium. I know what you're talking. I know late model, low hour. Yeah. I don't give I don't care if it is a 55 corn special or an X9 1100. There is no premium to a used combine.
Yes, there is.
Why? Why does your 780 have a premium over that guy?
It's supply and demand. It's what you have. Do you have right now? If I wanted to go buy a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old combine with less than 300 separator hours, how many of them are on the marketplace?
Probably quite a few.
No, there's like 300. There's about 300 combines.
All colors.
Not all colors, but I'm saying like I think I'm just going off memory here, but I got to pull it up and look. But
like 780s is what you're talking about.
Just combines in general, 300 hours or less, separator hours or less. There's not that many.
No, I get that. Well, that's because guys are putting more hours on.
Well, okay, you want to lump the 500-hour combine in the mix,
right? All
together, you have. I got to go back and look and get my facts straight and everything else, but you might have. I don't know if you'd have 1,000 combines between those two segments.
No, probably not.
So you put that into perspective.
Another thing, real quick,
right.
When I'm on here, go easy with the facts. That's not real important. You just kind of wing it. But no, I get what you mean. That doesn't mean it's a premium. Is it worth more than the 7? Yeah, but it's not a premium.
I'm talking in general, as a whole. That I think used combine values that are 300 hours or less will be bringing more money in 21 than they brought in 20.
No.
Yes.
Completely false.
1-year-old combines.
No.
1-year-old combines will bring more money.
No. False.
Because there won't be the supply for the demand.
It doesn't matter.
Did you not take economics?
Yes. Corn is $4. It's not $6. And I know what you mean. Okay, I get it. Cool, if they have $6 corn, they don't want that. They want a new one.
But
there's only so many combines built in Moline, Illinois, by the way, 2 colors built there. There's only so many they can build. That 300 is still going to catch a guy, but he's going to be the $6 guy, not the $4 guy.
But here's the difference, though. When corn was $6 in 2010, and it got all the way up to 2012 when it got to $8 for a day or whatever it was.
Right.
There's the difference between that is they were coming off of a traditional trade cycle. Right? Every 3 years you trade your combine off. Every 2 years you trade your combine off. Every 5 years you trade your tractor off. Every 3 years you trade your tractor off.
So you're saying the guy that still has a 13 today with 2,000 SEP on it,
yep,
he's going to buy that 300 instead of new?
Yes.
At $4 corn?
Yes.
Okay.
Because here's why. You've got a combine that you've ran for 7 years now.
Right. And it's see-through.
6 years, yeah. I mean, you're chucking a dead cat through it. I love that saying. I don't know what
Right.
that even means. But the whole idea that they've done nothing with their combine. Nothing wrong with that, but they haven't done anything with their combine. Now they're looking at spending another however many thousands of dollars on this combine again, or I can take my $50,000, $60,000 to $70,000 combine today, go over here and buy a $350,000 used combine. Oh, I've got 20% down now because in theory my combine's paid for it, right? Or do I spend another $15,000 or $20,000 getting my combine through the shop, and then go out and run it again and still have a $50,000 or $60,000 combine? That's the point I'm trying to make. Is that when these guys show up today, they can still get that $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 out of a combine that they've got. What I'm saying is in March, April, May, I don't know they're going to be able to do that, because that's when you're going to start seeing the flood of equipment hit the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And once that stuff, and people start to realize it doesn't matter who you are in this business, how good you are doing, whatever it is that you're doing, it doesn't matter. There's a 6 month to 9 month lag in the economy, in the equipment business, right?
Correct.
There's a 3-year lag as to how the auction market starts to react to what's going on, right? There's the first auction that you see something happen, that's not a trend. The second one's, that's an odd coincidence. The third one's like, holy shit, we got a trend happening now. Then used equipment managers are scrambling around going like, is this really a trend we start paying attention to? Or let's watch the fourth one, see what happens then. And then maybe the fifth one. Oh, now all of a sudden we've watched 6 months go by now, and this trend's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now all of a sudden, I better start making some changes to how I do things. How we talk to our customers about what they're trading in, or what's going on in the marketplace, right? So that's what I'm saying. By March, that's 3 months from now, right? Ish, right? So then by June, end of May, that's 6 months. The trend is either going to be there or it's not going to be there. So that's what I'm saying. By June, if you wait till June to trade your combine in, and you want to trade it in on a 1-year-old combine that's got 300 hours on it or 500 hours on it or whatever that you're trading up to, what you've got might not be worth what it is today, even though no hours ran through it and you're done with harvest and all that stuff.
I would just like to interject real quick to the loyal listeners that I've never felt more inadequate on a podcast than that rendition that I just witnessed live and in person. That is some incredible top-level shit that I can't even fathom wrapping my head around right now on a Friday afternoon. But no, wow, that was impressive. I get it. I do. But I wasn't getting at that when I was having my shit fit about prices of combines, and that's where I was going with the premium thing. That's great that you have a 300-hour combine. It's not a premium price. You're just going to sell it instead of sit on it and send it to Colonel Dan.
Right. Well, that
is your premium. The damn thing will sell.
Right.
It doesn't mean it's worth, we got this 2020 780. Let's ask $5.25. No, it still comes down to dollars. Right. We have a 9900 chopper.
Yeah.
Every option known to man.
Super sweet.
Both heads.
If you want, you should call us.
It is the best deal of any chopper in all of North America. Probably the globe.
Worldwide.
But it's still like $5.25 wholesale.
Well, that's but two heads with it.
No, I know, but listen, as smoking of a deal as that is,
right.
I can't give the sumbitch away at even $5 because it's still $500,000.
Right, but you got to think about what's the equivalent new one cost?
I don't know. I on purpose don't touch that. I would say $750.
Probably pretty close to that.
Is it?
$750,000, $800,000 would be my guess. You know, I mean,
real numbers.
Yeah,
not list.
No, not list. No, right. But I mean, I think when you take a look at all the things that come into play with that particular unit, first off, one is you have to have someone that wants to use 9900 and what that looks like.
Right. Everybody should.
Secondly, from an advertising perspective, the pictures that are on the internet aren't that good. Right?
Well, who took those pictures, friend?
Well, as soon as it gets out of the shop, we'll get some new pictures put up. We'll get some videos and all that fun stuff. But for right now, the time being, that is probably one of the bigger hindrances why people aren't calling about it, because it's in the shop, right? And it's got it's all half tore apart. So I mean, it's just one of those things that you plan at now.
Now, see, I look at that.
Yeah.
If it's in the shop, it's either getting fixed or they know what's wrong with it versus, oh, look, they put lipstick on a pig. It looks beautiful.
Right. And I think we put $55,000 worth of parts in that machine, which isn't shocking. No one should be shocked by that on a chopper, right? But,
chopper guys are going, man, that was in good shape.
That was chopper in the head, I mean, so we put, it's ready to go. But the idea that somehow the $500,000 chopper is widely unsourceable, I don't agree with that, and here's why. It goes back to my previous.
What do you
statement.
mean by wildly? Did you say mildly or wildly? Wildly unsourceable.
Right, because it goes back to my previous statement. Right, there's somebody out there that's got an 8800.
Right,
that's taken their $200,000 and whatever $1,000 or $300,000 or whatever, and they're looking for that 9900 with 1100 hours on it, right? And that's what they're now it fits their sweet spot.
Well, then why haven't they called me?
Because it's the end of the year, and they will be. They will be.
Watch me sell that summit tomorrow morning. I'll be like, oh, damn it. Ruin the podcast.
As spring gets closer and we start looking more like haylage and what's that look like, and start creeping into that, this is that peak time to start looking at choppers, right?
Because they can buy it right away and jump into the wheat forage.
Sure.
The wheat haylage.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do, Tommy. Whatever.
I'm serious. They'll start chopping wheat and shit.
Yeah.
In Texas any day.
Yeah.
I know some dairies up, southern panhandle they've already knocked wheat down and chopping it.
Yeah, plus it's got a refrigerator, so.
Well, then why not?
It's whatever you want to keep cold, Tommy.
And four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So if it snows on Christmas, take the chopper to church.
That's right.
Hit Christmas Eve church, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Pull up in the parking lot.
Problem is just, as long as you only got two people, you're good to go. Because it's got the buddy seat.
Well, two people, in theory.
Right. Well,
cab's spacious.
It's a spacious cab for sure.
sure.
For sure. But no, so I mean, I think, so talk about fun facts, right? So there's this idea out there floating around that the combine market is way less than it was, and we've sold down to a level that's manageable and
false.
Blah blah blah. That is the fun fact. Number one, that's false. But here's a fact. So we've been tracking the number of combines total industry on the marketplace since 2014. 2015 through 2020, every December, we have somewhere between 11,000 and 11,700 used combines on the marketplace. Every single December. Every single December. It's out there. And, oddly enough, every single year the high water mark is June 1st. So,
of course it is.
So, which makes perfect sense, right? I mean, you've delivered everything up, right? You've taken in all the trades. You've sold some off for guys that are buying wheat, but majority of the combines trade for come in January, February, March.
Other than Texas, maybe Oklahoma, us wheat guys haven't sold combines yet, June 1st.
Right. That's true.
Because there is nobody who is a last-minute buyer like the guy, well, that wheat's ready next week. Let's get the combine out. I don't want to work on this. Let's trade it.
Right.
That's why, that's what kills me with our AOR. If we have a light combine summer, I'm scared shitless of fall. Because wheat combine selling is double what our corn combine selling is. We hit June and July, it's combine, flying out of here.
Right.
Then we do some in the fall.
Right.
And then we do a shitload now.
Right.
But that wheat thing, that is always and I swear to God, that's what it, amounts to. Other than I deal with a couple custom cutters myself that, it's in the shop right now, and then they go on the run, and then they get here, and then they trade.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. So I think, as I look at that stuff, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a long time before our combine market is, in my personal opinion, that it ever gets below 11,000. We had, since June 1st of 20 till end of November of 20, there were 1,290 used combines sold at auction across that time frame. So there's a big slope where things fell off in November. I think in November, end of October, there was something like 10,500 or something like that. And December bounced right back up to 10,000 or 11,393. We have 60 more combines on the marketplace today in December, as of December 1st anyway, than we did last year in 2019, December 1st.
Boy, that's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I hope they're all like 6,600s.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, they're not. So
1,290 combines sold at auction.
Correct.
So I would venture a guess that I have looked at 1,190 combine auction results this year.
Yeah. Well, that's just the first half of the year, so think about that.
God,
I got that, again, that data point right there of the number of combines sold I got off of TractorZoom. So if anyone, or TractorZoom and Iron Comp. So if you're looking for a good way to look at that stuff, go to ironcomps.com, tractorzoom.com, get some information, use Moving Iron at checkout there, and they're going to give you a discount on that. But check that out. It's going to be a good spot for you guys to get that information. So when I use that religiously to look up, just to see what's going on in the marketplace, because they get 400 different auction houses all submitting information to them. So it's not just one area that you got to go look at 14 different auction houses to get your stuff. It's all in one spot. You can see a bunch of different stuff. You can see what's happening regionally. So check it out. It's well worth your time to get a hold of guys over there and get that going for you. But when I look at that data, it tells me that there's just, the month of August, I think we had 590 combines sell. So almost half the combines sold in August.
Yeah.
Right? So front side and back side of that both, there was some there. So, which puts us at this point now where we're going to take a look at this Olson family harvesters deal that they had. You've got 8 780s, 8 770s, all sold by Sullivan Auctioneers, and Colonel Dan and the fellows over
Let's
there.
have an auction.
they do a great job. One of my favorite auction houses to work with, and they've got. Looking at what's happened, their combines spec wise were pretty basic spec combines. I mean, there weren't a lot of bells and whistles on them by any means, but he had a 780 sold. They were in that. I think the high one had 700 separator hours on it.
Yeah.
It brought like 260 something. And then the rest of them were kind of in that.
Right. You could basically broad stroke them like 1,000.
Right.
A little over.
Yep. Anywhere between, I think, 260 to like 250 is probably the range that we saw there for most of those, right? Then you had the 770s.
No. Those 780s, other than that 700-hour one, were all 230.
Oh, okay. All right. Just go up there. That's right. You're exactly right. Okay, so if you take a look at that,
which is similar, sounds gross, but similar to, I think, 2 or 3 that sold at the end of August.
Right. Yep.
At the beginning of August, they were 3 1/4, and then at the end of August, once we decided to participate, we got to enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that, which tells me right now that
that's a shitty participation ribbon, is what that is.
Well, yeah, it is. But what tells me, though, that's where the combine market for a 780 with those kind of hours is at.
That's where it's at.
Right? Because that is, again, watch the trend lines develop month over month over month. Boom, here it is.
Hey, what did Aaron Fennell say a little bit ago?
What?
If you want to sell a combine, have it under...
At an auction?
No, I said under 300,000. You're talking about auction is spot on at 230. That's where they've been. Okay?
Right.
That wasn't a bad auction. It wasn't a runaway. That's where they're at. We know that. We lived it in August. Okay?
Right.
So, if you want to sell a 780, under 3.
Depends on what it is.
Under 1,000, 500 to 1,000 hours.
But also, you take that same combine there with 4-wheel drive and power cast and power fold and all the active
Tri-power.
I mean, all the stuff that
power
you
cast, power fold, power rear.
That's right. But you have that, and you really load them up nice. You can't tell me that same combine was about $230,000.
I bet it wouldn't have hit 250.
I bet it would have.
I bet it would not have. I bet it would not have.
And here's why: that technology that's on those combines, guys are starting to look around and say that's actually starting to be something I'm interested in doing because of X, Y, and Z. I don't have the labor I used to have. I've got other people that are. It's now worth something to me. When it first came out, I was pretty skeptical of it.
I get that. I totally understand that. But what I'm saying is those combines were probably, I'll throw a feather in Olson's hat, the best condition used combines known to man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so they don't have anything wrong with them. Either did the ones in August that sold for $230. They didn't have the records and all that shit that Olson had. But they're still at $230 because that's what they're worth.
That spec of combine, yeah. Agreed.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But you're not going to add 2 things to that combine and bump it $20,000. No way.
I think if it's the right thing, it will.
I think for someone who rattled off all this high-level auction knowledge stuff and tracking machines and all that, and from our friends at TractorZoom that have all that info, you can... You combines, okay, the August market, 2-wheel drives brought almost 3.
Right.
Then by the time you get to the end of August, power fold,
what were those
power
combines?
fold, power rear, no power cast. Whoopee shit, that's like $6,000.
Right.
$230.
But think about that combine market in August though. What happened in August to get those combines up to $325,000?
China virus.
Well, part of it. What was it though? What were those combines different? How were they?
They
different
were the first ones on the auction market
that had low hours.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, they were 300-hour combines.
What did everything else outside of that bring? The exact same number that you would see anywhere else.
What do you mean?
If you take those combines...
take the first primos out.
No, I'm just saying, like, at any of those auctions, those first 3 or 4 auctions where they were bringing big money, those were low-hour, higher-spec combines.
Okay.
Right? Now, when you got past those machines, and you were over here in the 2015s and 2012s and 2013s and 2014s and everything else that were going on, what did they bring? The exact same money that we'd been seeing them bring up to that point.
Or less, a little less.
But relatively close, within a standard deviation or whatever. I mean, they were pretty close to each other, right?
Man, it's a Friday. Easy, dude. Easy.
But what I'm telling you is that these one-off machines that show up, like those 1,000-hour machines, they brought 1,000-hour machine prices.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm saying is if the 1,000-hour machine had 4-wheel drive, power fold, power cast, you would get more for it at the auction.
I'm not saying you wouldn't get more. I'm saying you're not going to get $250.
I bet you would.
I'll split it with you. $240.
Okay. I know you get $240 for it.
Do you?
Yeah.
You know that?
I know that.
Well, there's that crystal ball you're always talking about.
But if you take a look at those things and how they play out, the oddities in the marketplace brought big money.
Yeah.
Everything else brought the exact same stuff we'd seen, plus or minus a few $1,000.
So would you say that they were a premium?
Yes, I would.
You're welcome for the softball. And there it goes, out of the stadium, boys.
So that's
I get it, but dealing where I deal all the time, and I don't mean just the wholesale shit. You know, I have guys call and do all the other stuff too. But I'm adamantly flying that flag. If you want to sell a combine and you want to sell it timely, then you need to be under 3.
I would say that's true in 2020. It's not going to be true in 21.
Well, we don't know yet, do we?
Yeah. So this is prediction time.
We could just have another bet that you're going to lose.
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so.
Somebody better hurry up with some imaginary self-driving tractors really quick.
Hey, man, they're already out there. Did you see the Monarch tractor launch?
It has to be... No, I didn't.
It's super sweet.
It has to be traded into us, mind you.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So now you're going to be like on Twitter, anybody have an autonomous tractor? Please trade it. I'll give you retail plus 50% because I'm not buying that asshole dinner.
All right.
I get it.
I feel like
I disagree, but I get it.
I feel like we kind of knocked this in the head.
I think so.
Okay.
Mission accomplished.
Good stuff. As usual, Aaron, folks want to reach out to you and pick your brain about what's going on or just get some of these super sweet deals you got floating around. What's the best way to do it?
Well, the best way is probably to shoot me a text, 308-760-1193. If that doesn't work, I am pretty active on the Ag Twitterverse at Aaron Fintel, A Ron Fintel. And those are, if you can't get me those 2 ways, then try again.
Right on. And when you call in, tell him you heard him on the Moving Iron podcast.
Yes, please do.
And if you're looking to get hold of me, hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Moving Iron LLC. Also fairly active on LinkedIn. It's the, I don't know, man. It's like the professional Facebook.
Professional Facebook.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
okay.
Yep.
Except for now I can't go on there and not see any presidential debates.
Yeah, and typically people don't slide into your DMs on LinkedIn.
True.
Unless
Very
it's
true.
business related.
The other thing too about LinkedIn, there's less porn bots trying to
There
sneak
is.
in. Yeah.
Porn bots are fairly non-existent
Yeah.
on LinkedIn.
But they sure like that Twitter, don't they?
Hi, I'm single and I'm
Yeah.
Christian. I'm in Denver.
Yeah, it's shocking how close they are.
How do you have no followers?
Yeah, it's weird. Weird every time. So you can also check me out on my website at movingironllc.com. There you can find all the latest editions of the Moving Iron podcast as well as the blog posts that I have up there. And you can shoot me an email at movingironpodcast@movingironpodcast.com, and that will get you direct link to myself. Also, check me out if you get a Farm Equipment Magazine. I've been writing an article for them for the past, couple years in the back page there. So a lot of good stuff that comes up in there as well. So anything else you want to throw out there, Aaron, before you shut it down?
Not that I can think of, brother.
All right, then. Well, I'm Casey Seymour with Aaron Fintel. Let's go move some iron, folks. Out.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people